Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm Ann Russo. I'm the Building Officials Associate Executive Director. And we're so glad you're here with us today for our webinar, What is a Certified Permit Tech? This is the next installment in a series of webinars that we're focusing on this demographic of our membership, the permit techs and admin professionals. This one today does not have any CEs. It's an informational webinar. I emailed a handout this morning, which is on the group, the Permit Tech group online. If you didn't go get that, it's there whenever you want to get it. It's got some helpful links and just helpful links and some information. So after the webinar, we'll talk a little bit more, but I'll just update you on the conference plans that we have for permit techs. I want to talk a little bit more about local meetings, and we'll talk a little bit about the webinar schedule as we're moving forward. And so just a reminder, this is a webinar. You can hear us, but we can't hear you. If you have questions, you can enter them in the question box in the Zoom control panel. We will have time for questions at the end, and we're going to record this session, make it available later so you can go back and review the information there. So at this time, Krista, you ready this morning to get going? Krista Ellington from City of Satellite Beach. All right. Here, all yours now, Krista.
Okay, let me just share my screen right here. Can you see my screen good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I muted myself, so yes.
So my name's Krista Ellingson, and I am a ICC certified permit tech. And I thought this would be kind of a good class because a lot of times people don't know what that is. I started out in the building department several years ago, and then before that I was in construction. But I wanted to learn more and basically be more beneficial for my building department. So it's actually ICC certified, so it's a professional accomplishment. And it also shows that you have a higher level of achievement, and it's kind of validated through the certification process. The permit techs basically started back in, let's see, I'm gonna go here and see if I can get there we go. So it's testing through the International Code Council. And they started back, I believe it was in the 70s and 80s, is when it kind of first began. I'm sorry, I'm trying to move stuff around on my screen. There we go. So back in the 70s and 80s, this is kind of the boring part, but that's where it kind of started. The building code, there was 3 organizations: the Building Officials and Code Administrators, the International Conference of Building Officials, and the Southern Building Code Congress International. And they started offering kind of a formalized training and certifications. Kind of by the late 1990s, they started working on different certification processes for permit techs. So they wanted it to be more of a professional setting for the permit techs, and to give them more opportunity to grow, make more money, earn different levels. So back in 1997, a permit tech exam development committee started, and by 98 there was a certification that was being offered, and it was being offered, and it formally grouped and consolidated into the International Code Council in 2003. By the mid 2007, the ICC permit tech ad hoc committee was established. I'm trying not to talk too fast. And they identified at that time there were several areas that needed to be addressed, including the development of a second tier of certification covering like plan review, inspection, means of egress, basic plumbing, mechanical systems, and offering different trainings. So at that point, the first Permit Tech Institute was offered in Overland Park, Kansas in March of '07. They had a 3-day event and it covered a lot of topics like the permit fees, the how to calculate the new construction with the ICC valuation information, the blueprint readings, some customer service, some of the overview of the international building code and the residential code, height and area calculation, occupancy, communication, legal aspects, and zoning, which is kind of how in this permit tech series, we're kind of developing some of the different classes that we're trying to offer. It's basically permit techs asking permit techs, what do we need to know more of and what do we learn, need to learn more of to be better effective in our building departments. So at that time, it gave about 60 permit techs around the US who participated in this. And then that's how the certification process began. So some of the benefits. Some of the benefits is of obtaining that certification is kind of what I already talked about, the verification of personal and professional accomplishment, the validation of technical expertise, regional and on a national level, recognition on a national level, increase in potential career opportunities, expanding the building code knowledge, which I think is the most important thing for us to learn, confirm commitment to protect the health, safety, and welfare, and commitment to raising awareness of the permit tech profession. In this picture right here, over to the left, that's actually me with our legislative committee. Because when I began being a permit tech, I decided I wanted to kind of go all in. So I joined BOAF. And I learned that with BOAF, I was actually offered full member voting, full member benefits in the BOAF. So the first thing I did was I joined our legislative committee. So with the legislative committee, I was able to go up to Tallahassee. I've been able to speak to the our state representatives who's actually passing and introducing legislation that affects everything that we do every day in the building departments. And I've met a lot of different building professionals. In this group right here, there's a multitude of building officials here. And some of these I now am friends with on a personal level. I've gotten information from them. I'm able to call them up when, we had the milestone inspection or something. I was able to call somebody up and they already had theirs vetted. So we're able to share information with each other once you start that whole networking process. So for me, that's been a great benefit, getting connected with everybody and learning from them. This was a picture in Tallahassee. This is Senator Perry all the way to the left. Senator Perry is one of the senators that's introduced a lot of the legislation that's come through over the last several years that affects our building industry. So I was able to go in there with John Freeland from Gainesville, and then I can't remember her name, but she's from the University of Florida. But we were able to go in there and we're 3 different size and types of jurisdictions, and we were able to sit down and talk with him. And I'm in a very small jurisdiction where our building department does a lot of different things, but we wear a lot of hats. Whereas John Freeland's in Gainesville, so he does the Florida Building Code and he has a lot more staff, a lot more resources, but a lot more responsibility. And then of course the college. So these were 3 completely different types. And we were able to sit down with the senator and we're able to talk to him. And here I am, just a little permit tech from the little barrier island, and I'm up in the Capitol meeting with our elected representatives. So that's a very cool thing that you can do all the way from sitting in your little office all the way up above. And then one of the things I wanted to touch on too was some of what's required in the to becoming an ICC certified permit tech. Because once you're certified, you get the full BOAF membership, which means you can be on committees and different things and be a lot more involved. You can still be involved if you're not certified, but you can be even more involved if you are. So we have the ICC certified permit tech training and testing. So I wanted to kind of give a little bit of information as to what's actually on that test. I know the test when I took it, but I know the questions always change, and so there's some different books I have at the end of this that are actually listed for you to be able to purchase the books. And one of them's a companion book, and the books that you're able to take in while testing. Customer service, of course, is big. That's about 7% of your test. I believe there's 50 questions on the test. Project applications. And that's basically making sure that they've met all the prerequisite approvals, the application and the project information is complete, acceptable. Of course, verifying the professional and contractor licensing when necessary. 8% of it's going to be on your building code concepts. And you're going to be reviewing the basic building concepts on plans for content. And you're going to be verifying basic details, elements, or components of plans for completeness. I think when I took the test, I actually had to like look at a footer and just give some different information about a blueprint. It wasn't too terrible. 8% is going to be permit issuance and fees. And that's going to be processing the documents for required approvals, calculate and verify valuations of fees, and accept the financial guarantees. And of course, issue your permits. 7% is going to be accept your inspection requests, verify that special inspections are performed where they're required, track the permit status, coordinate approvals for, and prepare the CO. And I believe one of the classes in our series is on COs, and we basically a lot of our classes we've gotten from this list of what they're testing for, just to give us basically a little bit more knowledge in those areas. There's going to be 9% of it is going to be your review and related documents. You're going to be verifying content of plans, engineer construction drawings, or specs for submittal, and determining the need and the level of the review process that needs to happen with those. Your occupancy group and type of construction. Verifying that the occupancy class and the types of construction are designated on the plans and the permit documents. 5% is going to be read and identify the map and plat track specs. And 5% is using architectural and engineering scales to determine basic dimensions and calculate areas and percentages. That area kind of scared me the worst when I saw that was having to use the scales, but I actually did it, so it wasn't too terrible. And then let's see, permit tech exam basic portion of zoning, and we had a zoning class last month. And the reason I thought it was important to have that zoning class was because 14% of our tests come for that. 4% of it's going to be land use, explaining the site plan review process or development plan review and land use codes. 5% is going to be right-of-way utilities and easements. And 5% is verifying the structure, location on the lot, zoning, and engineering requirements. And you're going to verify that required setbacks and percentage of lot coverage. I actually probably do that every single day. with verifying that the lot coverage calculations and stuff for every driveway or shed or anything that comes in our office. So that's always a very important thing to learn and understand. In summary, says your basic code enforcement is going to be one of your books, your international zoning code, international building code, legal aspects of code administration, and then of course your pencil and calculator. That test is, when I took it, it had to be in person, so it was Pearson VUE. I believe right now it's only at Pronto. And you can take that from your office, from your home. I believe they have late hours, extended hours into the weekends. You would go to ICC and set up on there for your testing. I think and just pay the fee on there. And then you contact Pronto. It's a 2-hour open book and there's 60 questions on that. And then on this page right here, I actually gave a list of the actual descriptions of those. So in this, in this, you're going to keep your certification current. In order to do that, you have to do your CEUs. You have to renew your ICC certified permit tech every 3 years. Your CEUs right now, BOAF has been just fantastic with getting everything up and going for the permit techs to for us to be able to have our CEUs that are going to be beneficial in our building departments. Previously, I was having to do CEUs from other states or with different associations like FACE or FEMA. But now I'm actually able to take classes with BOAF and actually learn stuff in the building industry that's helping not only myself professionally, but also my department and my building official. And so a lot of my classes now are going to be Florida based. When I was taking the out of area ones, I was taking them on like snow loads and just different things like that from different states that really didn't benefit anybody. It was just having me earn my CEUs without me really needing the information. So right now BOAF is, they've been working hard to get a whole permit tech category going. And I think Anne's going to talk about this at the end, but it's very exciting to me. So when I first started talking to Anne about this, I got really excited and I wanted to be part of it, which is kind of how I'm doing this class today. Just, the little permit tech on the little barrier island, but I'm trying to reach out and network with other permit techs and have all of us get together and kind of get something started so we are able to help each other, benefit our departments where we work, and be able to collaborate a lot more. Because right now, if I need information, I have to go to a building official, and sometimes what the building official is not what I do. I have my role is very different, and sometimes he doesn't understand the different things that I do in my role. So I don't really have a lot of networking opportunity. So I'm very excited about this. Let me just,
Krista, as
yeah,
you're looking for whatever you're looking for,
yes.
I think for the building officials and inspectors and plans reviewers, their IC certs require, I think it's 45 hours every 3 years. Is that the same for permit techs?
No, I believe it's 6, I believe it's 8, 8.
8 credits every 3 years to renew the
I
IC.
think, yeah, I believe it's 8 CEUs, yeah, 8
Okay,
CEUs.
all right, thanks.
Yes, anybody can talk. I mean, I would love to interact some. But it's um I'm sorry, So I joined BOAF about 3 years ago. I actually served on serve on the legislative committee, which has been very fun. And I've been to Tallahassee now 2 years in a row with BOAF, and then I serve on the professional development and education committee. So here's one of my networking slides. This has been kind of fun. So because I've been so involved with BOAF and the legislative committee, I've actually on the bottom of the screen there, I actually have the Florida League of Cities was very excited that I was involved with BOAF, and they think very highly of BOAF. So they asked me if I would come with them to Tallahassee after I got back with BOAF to meet with the legislators about some of the building industry legislation that was coming up. So it really meant a lot to me as a permit tech that not only did I have the backing of BOAF, but then I had the League of Cities who also thought highly of the fact that I was a member of BOAF. So that was very exciting to be able to go up with everybody. We had very good meetings, and I felt like they actually, listened to us when we're up there. We have a lot of events where we're able to network, and I've reached out to building officials from all over the area, just for different information that I need, and trying to reach out to their permit techs. And I'm hoping that some of us in our little permit tech world can maybe try to go to a chapter meeting of your local BOAF meeting and possibly bring up the topic of maybe starting a group of permit techs so we can all kind of get a little bit more organized. There is a group that's trying to start the process of starting a state chapter for permit techs. So I had a poll. I wanted to see how many of us on here were actually ICC certified permit techs or maybe looking for it. If Celeste wants to put the poll on.
I've launched it.
Yay.
I believe so. The permit. Yeah.
Wish I could see what the results of these.
I'm gonna share it in a second.
Who's your contractor?
Give it 5 more seconds and then I'll end the poll.
And over to the left on the screen, there's Anne and Celeste right there. Having lots of fun at one of our,
It's here, it's updated.
I think that was at a legislative meeting.
Celeste, you ready to end the poll?
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to know if you have a subcontractor, yeah. If
You have a busy office there, Krista.
the second-
I know. Can you hear it in the background?
Yes, we can.
I'm
Do you
so
see-
sorry.
I'm sorry, do you see the results?
Yes, so we have 13 of 8. Okay. So we have like 47 people working on painting it. So that would be great for some of the ones that are certified to be able to network that the ones that are not and help them with that certification. And then once you are certified there, I'm able to serve on some committees with BOAF, and that's been very exciting. And so we had another poll question is of the ones that are certified or the ones that are working on that, who would like to be possibly interested in being on one of the committees.
That's great. And that we're talking about committees. And I did post the link for more committee information, the link to the website. I did put that in the chat. I'll drop it in there again. And there's a sign up form online. It's open. Anyone can sign up anytime. I'll be emailing everyone soon because we like to solicit new committee members this time of year so that when the new president starts in June, we can assign those committee members. And just about everybody gets to be on just about whatever committee they want. We're very accommodating and we're very happy. And Krista, I'm sorry to interrupt here.
Oh, no.
Since we're on permit or since we're on committees, you do not have to be an expert in that topic to get on a committee. It can be something you want to learn more about. Maybe you love training and, and that education committee would be a good fit for you. Maybe you love the legislative side of things. That would be a good committee. We've also got a member services committee that could use some more members so the listing is on the website and those are open. The mutual aid committee is not open for volunteers because basically the board of directors serves as that mutual aid committee if and when the hurricane comes and messes things up. So, well, we're so glad that so many of you are interested in serving on committees. So, I'll click share, Celeste.
Okay.
Am I?
Look at those numbers. That's great.
I think I just,
It's okay.
I am by no means a professional at this, so I apologize.
Hey,
Slideshow from beginning. I didn't mean to go to beginning. So I kind of wanted to see if we had any of the permits, if anybody out there had questions and something, if we could kind of have a period of us networking right here, if we had questions out there where we can actually help each other.
right. So I believe attendees can raise their hand. Well, first of all, they can also type it into the Q&A. I know there's a lot of chat happening in the webinar chat.
Yeah, so somebody just
questions-
said that the test is actually around $70. No, there's a self-paced study guide that's around $70. Oh,
there is some kind of study guide that we have up on the website. Okay, so let's see. Someone has raised their hand.
I have to quit doing stuff. I forgot I'm sharing my screen. I apologize. I got excited.
Okay, Olga, I'm gonna click allow you to talk. You're muted right now. You should be able to ask your question, Olga. If you unmute. Can we hear you, Olga? We're not.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes. Yes, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Honestly, I don't have any questions right now. But basically well, I should just ask about the committees, about joining a committee. How many committees are there? Will we get information as to, all the committees that are out there and some information on what are the committees based on and
All right.
just information on
Sure.
each one of these.
Yeah. I'm going to share my screen now. All right. So you should be seeing the BOAF committees. This is on the webpage under membership, BOAF committees.
Okay.
This will give you an overview over each of them. And then there's an online, well, you have to be logged in. Let's see, click. There, you can basically, tell us who you are and you can sign up for up to 3, but give us a first, second, third priority on them in the event, we need to place you somewhere particular.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is something that can happen later on. It doesn't have to happen right away. Okay.
Yeah, when I
Alright.
actually joined, I just joined up to be a member. And it's kind of funny. I just joined like because I had an application in with our local chapter and my membership just sat pending for a long time. I think I got missed. So that's kind of how I joined. And then I just said, well, I wonder what these are about. And I just joined a committee and I got accepted. And then it was, I mean, the wealth of knowledge that I learned from being part of that was just incredible.
Okay. Thank you for that information.
Thanks, Olga. All
So
right.
Olga, where's Olga from?
Olga, can you unmute?
I'm sorry. Building safety permitting section on Rosalind.
Okay.
All right. And then Ish Castro,
Oh,
if you-
no.
Ish is our state secretary. You should be able to talk now, Ish.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Great job, everyone.
Welcome.
No need to say that, Anne, but thank you. I just had a quick question. You may have talked about it, but I'm just curious. Do any of you in your jurisdictions receive compensation for, monetary compensation for getting certified as permit techs? And I have a little follow-up to that, but I'm just curious if anybody does.
So I can tell you, I know there's some jurisdictions that are starting to do that. I know Gainesville has a tiered system. They do like 3 levels. And I believe Tallahassee just implemented that as well. I'm not sure if somebody on here does. But I know that a lot of the larger municipalities are having different levels. You have to be a 1 for 2 years to be a 2 and some more training.
Right. But do you get or, like a 3
Like
or
a pay
4%?
increase?
Yeah, for being certified and
I
have you-
did. Yeah, I
you-
did when I became one. I think a lot of them are doing that now. And a lot of the building departments are telling the permit techs they have to require certification within a year of employment.
Gotcha. So the other thing, if I may say, regarding those committees, to everybody that's on the meeting, I mean, they're not very difficult. They're not at night or on weekends. They don't take much time. It's typically a Zoom meeting on work hours. So by all means, I can tell you, as the building official in Osceola County, it's one of the things that most helped me. So I would encourage everyone to at least, think about it, give it some thought, once every other month or some, whatever the committee may deem necessary. But half an hour once every other month is not a lot on a Zoom meeting. And it gets you away from all the permit work. In all fairness, you get away from the office mentally. So just encouraging everyone to get involved. Sometimes we think it takes up a lot, but it doesn't. But you gain so much from it. So I would highly encourage everyone to think about it.
And absolutely, Ish, and with you just being a building official, I'm sure this is very beneficial to most of our building officials out there, getting their people certified and having them train more in what you need us to learn.
Yes, ma'am. I agree.
All right, thanks. So thank you, Ish. So we've got a couple of questions in here. So Robert Pennington says he purchased the ICC test online exam prep. Are there other practice tests available? BOAF does not do any test prep or practice, but there are, if you look back through the chat, there've been a couple of mentions of different test preps that are out there.
I think there's a test prep on ICC's website.
And Raquel Carrasco, where are the books I needed to buy for the exam? I'm going to show you that in a minute. And then Barbie at Palm Coast gave a 3% pay increase as an incentive and recently changed and created a tier system, Tech 1, Tech 2, Lead. You need the I can't talk. You need the certification to achieve a 2, and it comes with a 5% increase and more responsibility. And in the chat, you see many of them have mentioned that, yes, they got 3 and 5% pay raises, and some of them are talking about it. So keep
And
talking.
I think that just started in the last few years where the building departments are really starting to see the value in the certification.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen again here and just show you a couple of things that we have on the website as resources for you all. Okay, all right. So first of all, under code professionals, we've got a permit tech landing page. We try to keep this page up to date. Talks a little bit about that, the permit tech class that we offer. Again, it's not test prep, and test prep is practice tests. We don't do that. But ICC is still doing the 2018 and the 2021 ICC exam, but we have the links to the 21 books up there. There's a link here to ICC. I'm just going to click it so you can see where it goes. Choose an option for your, this is on ICC. You create an account there and you pick what exam you're interested in. I'm just going to click on 2021 Pronto. Now you can sign up to take an exam at our conference. I'll show you that too, but Pronto is the most available. Are you buying this for yourself or someone else? All right, I'm not going to log in for that, but you see where it is. Let me go back to our webpage.
And then, and on, so I saw some chats were coming up where people were asking, you know, how can we talk to each other? Don't we have a group that
Yeah, we're gonna look at all that if you want to hang out with us. All right. So I want to show you on our conference page, we do have a landing page for the permit techs. You could easily print this page and give it to your building official. We have I think it's 6 hours of training. I can't count that fast. At that Wednesday at conference, we've got a whole day scheduled. Krista, Bobby Joe Keel from Lake Mary, Jennifer Johnson from the Central Florida Oversight Tourism District, formerly known as Reedy Creek. I think Kara Paulson from Gainesville. They're all going to be teaching or team teaching on that Wednesday at conference. We want you to stay for the whole day or for the whole conference starting on Monday morning, but we know that can be a challenge to get out of the office, especially if your building official is out also. So we do have day pass rates available on those. So all of these courses, I think we even got approvals on these last ones, or everything's been submitted. So if you have your ICC certification, all of the classes, all of these at conference will have ICC approvals, and also all of our classes. If it's a building code class, it's got ICC approvals. So if you needed to learn, for some reason, you wanted to learn about some of those structural elements or chapter 1, and we're doing chapter 1 at conference also. But I want to go to the conference schedule or over here on the program and show you this. Click. All right. So this is all integrated with our conference app that's done by Huva. So if you're registered for conference or you're thinking about it, that's where this lives. So we've got this track information on here. We've got a permit tech track info. It is on Wednesday. You can see what's going to be offered, who's going to be presenting. Also lunch on Wednesday. We've got Melanie Griffin, the Secretary of Professions from DBPR. We're planning on her coming in at lunchtime and speaking to the attendees. And then the day closes out. It's not on the permit tech track here, but the day closes out on Wednesday, I think, with some of the FEMA MAT report from, I think, Hurricane Ian. So there's where your conference information is. Olga, let's see. Olga, I'm not sure if that's when Olga raised her hand before, if she raised it now. Celeste, if you can help me with that. But I'm going to go to the group. So I took all of the people that registered for the last permit tech webinar last month, Zoning 101, and this one, and I put you all in a group. You don't have to, if you don't want to be in the group, you don't have to be in the group.
Sorry, I didn't raise my hand.
You did?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, thanks. So when you go to the website, you can click on groups. I feel like my internet is going slow. I'm a member of a million groups. You probably won't see that. So we've got this permit tech and admin professionals group. I think my internet is really dragging this morning. Okay. So this is a group that I've placed all of you in. And when I click on the directory, comes up 184 people are in this group. the map's not loading, but you can connect to people in here and start communicating with them through the website.
And we can also put a chat in the group, right?
So there is a forum. You know, sometimes you think you need to kickstart something, right? Like, look at this. What's happening? Computer, go faster. All right. Yeah, so there we've got a forum here for just general discussion, whatever you want. You could do a new topic. Give me a topic, Krista. Oh,
Um,
I know, ICC cert renewal hours. Place what you know here. All right, so you can submit a post and then other people can come in, comment, you can share ideas. All right. This is the pages drop down where we have a library. It's got last month's zoning webinar handout, and it's got a helpful handout from today with information. I believe it is set up so that if you all have files you want to share, you can just add the file here and start sharing and communicating. I'm going to go back to the group homepage. There's also a discussion, a group feed here. For example, Lynn posted earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't see this, Lynn, that she'd registered for the webinar but didn't have the link. And Nicole was great enough to say it should have been coming in the email. So I hope Lynn saw that or contacted the office. The handout. See, so you all you're so helpful to each other. You're helping each other. So
because we're permit techs.
exactly, exactly. All right, so I wanted to share that information with you, where to find the conference information and how to get to the group.
Now, I believe the group that's looking to start a state chapter is going to be at BOAF.
Yes, so there are some people interested in creating Permit Tech Nation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. So create a Permit Tech Nation. So Permit Tech Nation is a national organization that has been chartered by ICC. So there's a group in Florida attempting to form a Florida Permit Tech Association. I think they're going to have a tabletop at our conference. And so that'll be one thing that will be new on our exhibit hall floor this year also. Let's see, I have got notes here. So we talked about the day track at conference. Another thing also, I've started, I'm trying to get a date with our Central Florida BOAF chapter, and they're not the holdup. It's the local meeting site. We're trying to get a date and a location where permit techs in Central Florida can get together and have a meeting, not necessarily, not a tag along with the building officials to their meeting, but let the permit techs get together and start networking. And I'm wondering, maybe we need to just make these first outreaches, maybe a lunch meeting, if we can meet somewhere where there's a buffet or something and just start connecting, networking, and getting to know each other. That's probably how we need to go about this.
I'm hoping to go to my chapter meeting tomorrow and talk to the building officials and hopefully get something started in my area because we don't have anything.
Great, great. Almost, Robert Pennington, did we answer your question?
Actually, I've got just a comment for the other attendees. I took the ICC zoning inspector exam. Not only the ICC's zoning ordinances are covered, the code, but the legal aspects of code enforcement are part of it too. And since all of this is about maybe a third of the tech exam, uses the same study resources, I found it very helpful. Plus, you're getting experience using the Pronto online exam system. I can't say enough how valuable it was to me in prepping for the tech exam. I would just recommend others. Plus, you get the zoning inspector certification as well.
That's great. That's helpful. Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.
All right. I went to the ICC Leadership Academy that was in Orlando a couple of weeks ago, and I connected with Cici Muela of the Women Leaders in Code. She formed that organization. She's one of the founders, and they're actually in Austin, Texas right now having a symposium. And Cece is going to present a webinar to us, a leadership topic webinar with ICC credits in July. So just to talk about the webinar schedule a little bit, I think we're going to take the month of May off as we're headed into conference so that we can be really prepared and have everything how we want to have everything at the June conference. So no webinar in May, but what we hope to get back, have another webinar in late June. Cece Muela's presentation will be in July, and then we'll continue building the webinar schedule. And since I'm talking about that now, I'm also going to say, permit techs and admin professionals on the call, if you have an idea for a training webinar,
Oh, okay, I see it.
talk to me, give me a call, give me an email, start putting an outline together, and you too can become an adjunct instructor with BOAF, right, Krista? This part-time unpaid job that you have right now?
Yes, and I am not a teacher. I just was very excited about getting to meet other permit techs and helping them and helping myself all at the same time. So this has been very exciting.
Well, and this is how it gets started. Members helping members, and what makes an association great, the member driven content. So I am looking to those on this call to start emailing me and calling me and talking about those ideas, and let's start forming them and building them out. And we also have, we haven't scheduled it in a while, but I think I'm going to get it back on the schedule. We do have a train the trainer class. It's 6 weeks online where you learn adult education, and the way adult education works is adults build on what they already know. So it takes you through how to create goals and objectives, and how to create an outline for a class, how to get the PowerPoints going, and those kind of basic presentation skills. So we have tools to help those that want to learn more and do more. So look for that to be posted also. And then just one other thing I'm going to show you, just so you know it's up there for easy access when you do visit the website. On the calendar, when Celeste adds all these events to the calendar, she categorizes everything. We started off doing this to make it easier for the building cross-training program people to be able to find the building classes that they're looking for. So we do have permit tech. You can go right to that. Right now, all it has on there is this certified permit tech information. I'm going to think about how we can add a link there that people can go to register for that day at conference. And then we'll be adding the July webinar on here. And then we're probably going to get our 7-hour permit tech class back on for sometime this fall. And then I guess I just want to open it back up to questions. So Raquel asks, how many times can I take the exam? Do I need to pay every time I take the exam? That's really a question for ICC, and I think you pay for the exam every time you take it. So please go in prepared. All right. Well, I'm going to look at the chat for a second. Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I think someone raised their hand. Emmett Taylor, I'm going to click allow to talk. Emmett, unmute, and then we're not
Hello.
here. Hi, Emmett.
How are you?
Good.
Okay, so the question is, do you have to pay for it? It all depends on your jurisdiction.
Right. Well, right. But if ICC is going to charge you every time you take the test.
Well,
Whether
absolutely. They're
you're
going
paying for it or the jurisdiction.
absolutely, but you are
jurisdictions,
going to pay for it. It's not a free service.
and
Right.
some jurisdictions pay for it the first time, but then you have to pay for it yourself the second.
And then Robert just reminded me, yeah, you can take the exam like 6 times you can fail it like what, 6 times in a year or something, and then you basically, you can't go in and take it over. They make you take a timeout if you don't pass it. And then the books, you can go to the Permit Tech landing page and you can see the books that are listed there. And then, like I said, ICC is offering the 2018 and the 2021. You and your building official would decide which version of that. I would think the 2021, but yeah, you have to talk to ICC about that. All right. Let's see. If that is everything, we won't keep anybody on the call any longer, and we're glad you're here. And look for more to come.
Somebody was asking if there's going to be ICC at the conference.
Oh, ICC, yes, they'll be there. All right. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Celeste.
Thank you. I can't wait to take somebody else's class.
Don't keep anyone any longer than you don't have to. You can email us and connect on the website with Krista and with me and Celeste and with your colleagues and continue the conversation.
And I look forward to seeing everybody at conference.